We also look at the ongoing initiatives that reflect our commitment to efficient service delivery and sustainable growth. Insights into grants we have applied for to support system upgrades, infrastructure resilience, and future planning, and how we continue to strengthen community for partnerships and improve our services to meet current and future needs. As the mayor talked about earlier, this is one of our projects, and you're going to see some of them are completed, some are ongoing. I will get to the ongoing. I will give an explanation of why that's ongoing. Purchase of standby generators and sewer pumps. We have two master lift stations. One is Garnto over there at the YMCA. The other one is Reamer. It's over there in Reamerton. That's our two master. Lift stations. We know lift station is its own facility to be able to force to pump the sewer into the, if you ain't got gravity, you got to get it there. And that's what lift stations are there for, to force it and then get it to gravity and then go to the treatment plants to be able to treat it before it goes into the river. These stations rely on a consistent electric power source as function as designed to prevent sewer overflows. While we have a reliable electric grid to provide this power consistently, there are times, as you can see tonight, you know, all of a sudden it was sunshine and then it hit just like that and it's storming and thundering and lightning popping everywhere. There are times that we encounter power outages, usually because of storms, trees falling on power lines is a big one. To ensure that we have the capability to operate every lift station should it encounter either a short or long-term power outage, the Utilities Department developed a scope of work to purchase either emergency standby generators, and some we have, as well as other backups to back up as emergency standby diesel pumps. If we have emergencies on our lift station, we got a generator, and if we have to, for a backup for that, we got a pump that we can put a diesel pump in, and we can divert flow. We're not having to spill. So we have completed that project. Number two, replacement of sewer lines on Iowa Drive. EPD required a supplemental environmental project for updating the Withlacoochee sewer collection system flow model, which is now being completed. The new model assisted the Utilities Department in further identifying potential sewage overflow locations, as well as areas with high inflow and infiltration probability. You will hear inflow and infiltration a lot tonight. The model and associated report identified multiple high-priority sewer main upgrade projects. This project upsizes 3 sections of the sewer line on the drive and will eliminate flow-restricted bottlenecks. So, water replaced was approximately 123 feet of 18-inch concrete sewer line and 185 feet of 20-inch concrete sewer line with a 24-inch PVC. As I said before, manholes gives access to go into the see the pipes. It gives access for workers to go into manholes. But the other problem that, as part of this project, was the line of the 4 manholes, because, as we know, manholes need to be lined. It needs to be protected because the gas is eating the concrete up. That was completed. Number 3, sewer rehabilitation on section of Browns Canal. EPD required supplemental environmental project which updated Withlacoochee River sewer collection system flow model was completed. This new model assisted the Utilities Department identifying potential sewage overflow locations in areas with high inflow and infiltration probabilities. But you're going to see a lot of these projects we had to require, EPD required us to do a project update with a sewer collection system overflow model. So that model had to be due to show all the areas where we was having trouble. So you'll see that a little bit. But if you read on down to the middle, 6 high priority phase 1 projects and 5 phase 2 projects are developed as a result. 3 of the high priority projects have been completed to date. This was the 4th at the time. This was the 4th priority project. It eliminated a major bottleneck issue around Lamar Street and West Adair Street, utilizing the pipe bursting method, and it replaced 560 feet of deteriorated sewer line and upsized it from 15 to 18-inch pipe. The other thing we look at, if this projects, we'll go ahead and upgrade that size pipe, because you don't want to have an issue if you got 15, and then you're almost to the end, you ain't got no more, getting enough flow, that's what's gonna happen, you're gonna have overflow, you're gonna spill. So that's why when we look at these projects, each one, we go ahead and update it, and go ahead and make it to a bigger pipe. Number 4, repairs and upgrade of the sewer main on William Street. They basically discovered a section of the concrete main had collapsed. This collapse had restricted the sewage flow, increasing the risk of sewer backups and overflows. The staff quickly, we got a steel plate over the affected roadway. It showed that the entire 320 linear feet of the aging main was deteriorated and in danger of further collapse. Additionally, this section of the system was previously identified as a bottleneck area, and that was in the Withlacoochee sewer system study that was done, and that was completed. Number 5, and I'll run these a little bit quicker. Replacement and rehabilitation of sewer mains on manholes on Jerry Jones Drive. Basically, this was the same thing. The flow model was established. This was the 6th and final high priority project due to this flow model. Eliminated a major bottleneck as well in the section of sewer main along Jerry Jones Drive. Using the open cut method, it will replace an upsized 285 feet of 18-inch sewer main to 24-inch. That project also included rehabbing the 4 manholes. That was completed. Number 6, sanitary sewer rehabilitation for section of the 2-mile branch for sewer basin. Same thing was the model. The model and ensuring rehab report identified numerous sections of the system in need of sewer main upgrades to eliminate the flow restricting bottlenecks. Number 7, another rehab and manhole replacement. As I said before, the utilities department has over 6,500 sewer manholes within the sanitary sewer system. And here's a fact of this. Most of these manholes are at least 30 years old. Most of them. With some almost 100 years old. So you got 6,500 manholes. You know, some are 30 years old, some are almost 100 years old, and trying to get all these lined. I will tell you, if the question is asked, I will go ahead and address this. We have a manhole assessment project in place at the utilities department now. It won't be but a couple of weeks or a month or so. I'm going to take the council for approval. That what we'll do is we'll get a team or we'll get a contractor to go in there and we will take, I think it's manhole number 10 is where we are. That section we will go ahead and get those manholes back and get them lined. The same thing with cured in place pipe. We have a CIPP number 9 that we're on the project. That's another one that I'm gonna do. I got 2 separate projects. You got the line cured in place pipe and then you got the manhole. So we have an assessment survey that we have done and we know where we left off, and then we're going to continue on doing both of those projects. So as the manholes, like I say, with some 100 years old, both their age and their constant corrosive environment, the sewer gases, they just cause getting to be a point where failure is likely to be immediate rehab. So this is one of the projects we've done that was completed. Number 8, the purchase and installation of a sanitary sewer flow monitoring system on the Mud Creek collection system. As EPD, you'll hear this, we are under a consent order that was issued in August of 2020. There were 19 requirements related to this sewer collection system that were identified as needing to be satisfied. 2 of the conditions required the city to install a sanitary sewer flow monitoring system and develop a sewer assessment program that provide a continual analysis of our sewer infrastructure. And we just looked at basically problematic areas for rehab, storm, groundwater, inflow, infiltration. That was part of the consent order. I will let you know that we are in compliance with our consent order. We're still under that. We are still working with the EPD. We notify EPD when we have different issues, when we have spills, if we have an overflow, we have a minor spill, we have a major spill. All that is part of our consent order, but we are still under. My goal is in the next 2 or 3 years, my goal is to get out of the consent order. That's one of the things I want to do. And you'll see later in the slide, the projects that we have currently that has already started, in progress now, will help us get out of that consent order. So that's just one of the things. This This one here is the reason it's ongoing because we're in the consent order, so that's why it says it's not completed. We're gradually, as they EPD, trying to get all those projects going, so that's why it says ongoing. Number 9, the extension of the sanitary sewer system on Inner Perimeter Road, Barack Obama Drive. This was the city installed new manholes and sewer main along the north side of Inner Perimeter in North Forest Street that connected to the existing system on the south side of Inner Perimeter on North Forest Street. The new sewer extension would not only serve current developed properties along Inner Perimeter Road, but it would also ensure that the city is well prepared for the future development. That was completed. Number 10, sewer system repairs on Patterson Street near Drexel Park. This was a personnel determined that a 24-inch sanitary sewer main was the source of the problem. They discovered that a section of the concrete main had collapsed. That collapse had restricted sewage flow, increasing the risk of sewer backups and overflows. So we basically, to prevent further collapse, the staff contacted a local contractor to request bypass pumps and to repair the sewer line. That was completed. Number 11, sewer repairs near Sestella Avenue. This was that the entire 325 linear feet of main was deteriorated and in danger or further collapse. Additionally, the section of the system was previously identified for replacement due to its age and recent failures, along with the other sections. As I go through these projects, you can see everything pretty much I'm saying is deteriorated. It's old infrastructure. I'm just being transparent with you. It's old. We know it's old. We know we have the issues. But all these projects we're going through are projects that have been, there's only like 2 or 3 are ongoing because of the consent order or the flow model, but most of them are all these are being completed. So we just have to take the next step, and that's what we're going to, you'll see here tonight. Repairs to the Sugar Creek aerial sewer main. Additionally, the main inspection showed evidence of advanced corrosion and deterioration along multiple exposed pipe sections. Staff determined to prevent further leaks and major pipe failure. The best course of action was to replace the main as soon as possible. And that was completed. Number 13, sewer main repairs on North Oak Street near 1 Mile Branch. This was the Oak Street near Valdosta State University. After further inspection by utility central line crews, it was determined that the existing 24-inch reinforced concrete pipe sanitary sewer main had failed, collapsed, and had caused a sinkhole. There were utility contractors that were contacted to help that made the repairs. The installation of a new 24-inch sewer main across the railroad right-of-way of Highway 84. This is the city existing 20-inch ductile iron, and I'll stop right there for a minute. 50 or 60 years ago, as most of you probably know, ductile iron was good for sewer. It ain't anymore because the gases eat the top of the pipe out. If it ain't surcharged, it's going to eat it up. It has nowhere to go. If there's a gap between the top of the pipe and the flow, those gases are just eating the top of that pipe as it's sitting there because it's not surcharged, it's not moving. So that's the problem. Years ago, it was a good idea to do, hey, ductile iron is good. And it's lasted us for 50 years, 60 years, but guess what? We're at a point where we got to get it replaced. So that's just to let you know that. I know probably most of you already know that, but I just want to throw it in there because most of this stuff is ductile iron, and that's the problem that we're having. Number 15, repairs for a sanitary sewer main collapse. Highway 84 was the same, kind of similar, the same thing. The collapse on the 21-inch diameter sanitary sewer trunk line was located. Same thing, Highway 84 and Blanchard Street, south side of the CSX Railroad. We selected underground contractors to establish a temporary system bypass and perform the work necessary and repair the deteriorated lines. Number 16, repairs to the sanitary sewer line near Knights Creek off of Highway 84. The collapsed 21-inch diameter sanitary sewer trunk line was located, same place. We selected underground to perform the work. So there's 2 different things there. We had a sanitary sewer line, and then off of that collapsed first, and then we had a sanitary sewer line near, kind of in the same vicinity of the first one. Both of those were completed. Number 17, we had repairs on a gravity sewer main on River Street. There was a contractor that was contacted, mobilized, the staff establish and maintain the bypass for the gravity sewer main on River Street to severe due to the flooding and erosion of the creek bed. This is when November 11th of last year, when we had, the mayor referred to the 17 inches of rain that we had that caused this, the erosion of the creek. I mean, it just knocked it all out. It was just exposed, just sitting there, pipe. So, that was one, that's what I was referring to. On Pebblewood Drive, we had repairs. Also, a contractor was contacted to maintain the bypass for the 18-inch gravity sewer main that had been blocked, possibly collapsed. And both of those were completed. We're about getting to the end of these projects, and then we're going to I'll let you know what the current projects we're working on. Sewer repairs on Knights Creek near the intersection of US Highway 84 and Blanchard. Mud Creek sees a reduction in flow at the Mud Creek Water Pollution Control Plant. Utility staff immediately commenced an investigation to identify the location of the system loss. The collapsed 21-inch diameter sanitary sewer trunk line was located, like I say, near the Highway 84 Blanchard Street on the south side of the CSX Railroad. That was completed. The installation of a small diameter sanitary force main on Trotter's Way. This cul-de-sac in northwest Valdosta did not have sewer service available. They were on septic tanks. They didn't have anything to be able to have sewer. So these properties were served by the city water individually, private septic treatment systems. Over time, septic systems, we know what they do, deteriorate, they fail over time. And they fail. So this was the case of one of these residents here. The city is proposing, they proposed this and the cost-effective means of, they made this project to serve these residential lots with the city sewer system. Number 21, as the mayor referred to, sewer system repairs to Sugar Creek. We discovered that the Sugar Creek 30-inch gravity trunk line had deteriorated and failed, which caused the sewer to run over into the Sugar Creek Basin. Right now, and I'll say this again when we get to that slide, we're waiting on permits. It's the only thing we're waiting on, as the mayor referred to, it was in the creek of Sugar. It was in Sugar Creek, the pipe. 30 inches was in it. Back years ago, that's just what they did. But now, we're going to get right away of the railroad track. We're going to get it out of the creek. We're going to get onto the other side of the railroad and get it out of the creek so we don't have this issue anymore. So as we're doing these projects, you know how, when you were a kid, you're supposed to say, you're supposed to learn as you grow up. You're supposed to, things you used to do, and they don't understand them. But as we're going through this, that will take care of that Sugar Creek Basin where this won't happen anymore, just move it out of the creek. It shouldn't be in the creek. It should be on the right of way, off on the other side of the railroad track. Number 22, that one is ongoing. That's the reason it's ongoing, because we're waiting on permits. And once that is, I don't know to tell you, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 4 weeks, it could be 8 weeks. Railroad, who knows about the railroad? They have their own timeline of when they want to do things, but we're all close, very close, once we get that, to go ahead and start that work and get that taken care of.
So Jason, all the materials are just waiting and ready to go.
Correct.
Once the permits.
That's correct. Yes. The contract is ready to go. We're just waiting on the permits. So it should be, hopefully, I can't give you an exact, but it should be hopefully here soon. Number 22, repairs for the Sugar Creek, Armory, and Bronzo Force Main stabilization. This was in November 7, 2024. This was due to so I said the 11th, so I was wrong. It's November 7th last year, so I was close. But the 7th, when we had the rain, that's when all this happened with the Bronzo Force Main. I mean, basically, the rapid bank, it just deteriorated and was gone. I mean, the whole thing, you can see the thing sitting there, a 30-inch duct iron. So this was part of the project. City staff, we got a hold of the contractor, got there and got that taken care of. So this job was completed. As we talked about earlier, the Withlacoochee plant, how it had to move. This is the old Withlacoochee plant back in 2009, 2011. You look far up there where the trees were, those two tanks, that was the headworks. So that's where the headworks were under the water. That's where it flooded. Plant 2009 to 2011. So we we got all that out of there, and here is where it is now. So this is SDR plant. Love Creek is a flow-through plant. Withlacoochee is a SDR. That's how they treat their system. The second EQ basin, hopefully everybody can see. The second EQ basin is what that is. That's 7.5 million. That's what was added in 2021. This plant was built in 2014-16 as the mayor, as I referred to. So we went from the old, that one, moved it out of the flood zone, and now it's this one. So that is the new Withlacoochee plant. I will say, you know, the rain events, the hurricanes, and, you know, I'm not making excuses. I'm not. I know we have problems. I'll be the first to tell you that. But when we get 17 inches of rain in November 7th of last year, in a 30-hour time, not even 30 hours, 17 inches of rain, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, there's not much you can do. And the Hurricane Helene hit. What we have, Tropical Storm Debbie, we had that one. We had Idalia. So it's been like back to back to back to back the last year and a half, 2 years that it's like we can't get a break. But it's not going to stop us. We're going to, you know, what you can control, you can control. God Almighty is going to, you know, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But we are, I can tell you we're in a better place of working with our city leadership and what we have and our department leaders in our city and with engineering and the operation for my side working together to these projects to make it better. These are the capital sewer improvements schedule that we have. As the mayor mentioned, 69 million, a bond we took out for $69 million to get these projects, to get this back in work. One is Nice Creek North Phase 2. Phase 1 was already done, this is Phase 2. 2,450 linear feet of 24-inch gravity sewer. Construction has already started with completion in December of 2026. Some of these dates are like, man, it's taking a long time. Well, by the time you get surveying, like I said before, you get engineering, and you get everything together, and you get what you need for pipe. We know how ordering things, how that goes. It depends on what you're getting. If it's electrical, I mean, it's just more, but that's Knox Creek North Phase 2. Then there's a Phase 3 of Knox Creek North. That's going to be 6,640 linear feet of high-density polyethylene, which is HDPE force main, and 6,900 linear feet of gravity sewer. Started construction of that fourth quarter. We're supposed to be in fourth quarter here shortly anyway of this year, with completion date of December of 2028. Knights Creek South, rehab/repaired 14,200 linear feet of 21-inch ductile iron pipe and 20-inch vitrified clay pipe. Line assessment and surveying is in progress. Started construction is the same as Knights Creek North Phase 3, fourth quarter of this year, completion date December of 2028. Reamer 30-inch Phase 1. Rehab, repair, replace 610 linear feet of 8-inch and 12-inch. Gravity, that was gravity. Start construction is fourth quarter of 2025. Completion date fourth quarter of 2025. The reason that's so short, you look at 610 linear feet. Well, if you look at the other ones, it's 6,000, 14,000. So there's a big difference there. So that's a little bit when it says start fourth quarter and completion is fourth quarter as well. Both of them. Sugar Creek repairs, we just referred to a while ago. We're waiting on permits. Once we get that, like I said, I can't tell you when that's going to be, but I can tell you as soon as they give us the okay and everything is signed, we will move forward quickly and get that done. I thank you for your presence here tonight. I thank you for listening to me. All I can tell you, there's a lot of work that has been done, that is still going to be still going. I will give you some numbers. When I first 2009 to 2017 projects that I went to. I mentioned the Mud Creek and the Withlacoochee plant upgrades. 2009 to 2017, we have spent over $160 million. And that's just the year from 2009 to 2017. 100,000 of that, I researched it a couple days ago, 100,000, almost 100,000 of that was both plants. So we had to do what Mud Creek had to be. Ken Lowe, he's the superintendent of Mud Creek, he's here tonight. 3.2 to a 5.7 MGD. You got industrial users that are still, hey, we want to see it grow. Bring them in, but you got to make sure you can take care of when they come too. And so that permit had to change. Withlacoochee was in the bottom. You know, it was footed twice, half 2009, 2011. We had to get the headworks to get up on top of the hill. And then that's when we added 2021, the second Basin. So we have spent, but like I say, that's over $160 million in 2009, 2017. From 2018 to 2025, not counting the project, not counting these projects that we're currently, not counting these, from 18 to then, we have spent almost $20 million. So these projects are included into the $69 million bond that we have, the bond that we got. That's what these projects are included. There's other projects that are part of the bond that we ain't even, we got to start. Mud Creek's gonna be upgraded. As the mayor mentioned, Walmart Dairy's coming in. We got to upgrade our plant to make sure we can take care of all these industrial users that come in here. So what I'm telling you is, we're spending the money, we're doing the work. Is there more work to be done? Yes, absolutely there is, without a doubt. But I just want to let you know that money, 2009 to 17, over 160, 20 million from 2018 to 25, and then these projects here is another 69 million. So we are working diligently. We are trying our best. And like I said before when I got here to present, I promise you, as long as I'm here, as long as they don't get rid of me, or Richard and Kathy don't fire me, I will be here as long as I can to make sure when I leave here, I'm going to leave it better than I found it. And that's my goal. My goal is to get us out of consent order. My goal is to get all these projects done with the help of engineering, city staff, city leadership. That's what I'm here for. So I thank you for your time tonight, and I will open it up for